Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Discover a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Being a marketer's no sweat. You just have to manage dozens of channels, launch hundreds of campaigns, score thousands of leads, and okay, fine, it's a lot of sweat. Unless you have HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools to help you do all that and more. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Ooh, spooky.
Happy Halloween, hookers, sluts, and everybody in between.
What's really between?
Me,
Okay.
us, not you right now.
No, definitely not.
So,
And you're a child, so we won't go there.
actually, very true. So, Meghan and Melisa could not be here today, so we're taking over.
Hi, I'm Janine.
It's too fucking good. And it's Brittany, bitch. So, last night, was it last night you
Yeah,
texted
that was
me?
last night. I had thought of it the night before, but then I forgot to text you. So
Yeah, so I get a text at, actually, let's clarify
it
exactly
was
what
like
time.
9:30.
Okay, that's a little less violent.
9:49.
Because you should just know that I put it off in the back of my head until 20 minutes after I should have already been here.
Okay.
You texted me and said, I'll be wearing a Halloween costume from Don't Blame Me. It will be simple.
And it turned out it wasn't that simple.
It's not simple at all. Like, at first I was like, is she just gonna put on fucking cat ears or something? Because, like, am I gonna be more?
Mm-mm.
No, this is like a whole costume.
But I'm also like stuck in it. That's the not simple part.
Do you like to explain to the literally the class?
At the
Teacher.
class. So this morning,
Oh, wait, explain who you are.
I said I'm Janine. If you don't know who that is, then that's your
That's on
problem.
you.
I'm Janine Teague from Abbott Elementary, aka Quinta Brunson.
The greatest show.
I have this skirt and my ass has expanded. I actually don't think I've actually ever worn this skirt. I bought it a while. No, I haven't, because when I gave it to you, I took the tag off of it. And my ass is bigger than when I bought it, and I never wore it because when I bought it, I could get over my ass, but then it was too big in the waist, and so now I can't get it over my ass, and it fits in the waist, and so I put it over my head.
Okay.
And then when I tried to take it off, because I was just seeing if I could wear it, and then when I tried to take it off, I couldn't like raise my arms high enough to pull it back off. And so I was like, we usually film But Am I Wrong before this episode, before Don't Blame Me. And so I was like, we're going to record But Am I Wrong first? And then, because I'm already in the outfit.
I'm gonna need some help though. Like, I need you to help me get out of my costume. And I was telling you before that, like, I kind of just like accepted that and didn't think anything of it. And then as I was driving, I was like, what's she wearing? Like, and then I started getting worried because I was like, you were very casual.
Yeah.
And I somehow in my head made it that you were stuck in your Power Rangers costume. And I was like, I'd be having a panic attack. And then you opened the door. And I was like, oh.
And you knew immediately who I was.
Immediately. The hair is so, I can't get over like how spot on the hair is.
It's just my normal hair, just in a half ponytail.
It's just you have her you have her in you.
I do.
She's in all of us.
She is.
She is. Try hard? Hell yeah, it's in literally fucking all of us.
I think I'm more of an Ava though.
Oh, without it, Ava is like a violent Aquarius. Like Ava is like the most Aquarius. Like it's just that's Mox's favorite character. That and the white teacher. Like
Which one? There's 2 white teachers. The white male teacher.
yes,
Chessie.
I always forget. Well, I would just call her Chessie, of course. And that's her name's also Melissa.
Yeah,
I love her. She's great. And my costume is Britney Spears. Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to thank Pinterest algorithm because I accidentally opened Pinterest, not meaning to. I was trying to open a different app. And this was last night. Actually, it was today, 1:20 a.m. I did not sleep much. And I just saw, no, that's a lie. I definitely searched for it. I searched
This
easy
is
Halloween
perfect.
costumes and I found it.
and you nailed it.
I didn't have to buy anything. This is just
I didn't
everything I
buy
have.
Anything I had either.
I think it's a good interpretation.
I knew immediately who you.
Thank you.
My
And I
voice is cracking again. I knew immediately who you were.
get your teacher voice on. Do you need a cough drop like Taylor Swift? But I like saw a neighbor when I was driving here, and I haven't met her before, and she like waved at me, and I was like, oh, she looks friendly and nice, and I was like, oh my god, she definitely is like probably like in her like later 30s, and I was like, she knows.
She knew exactly.
She knew exactly what this was, and I was like, oops, I did it again. So happy Halloween, everyone. We did talk about doing costumes before, and we have a great costume idea that we will eventually do.
I mean, we need to do a new photo shoot anyway. So when we do our new photo shoot, we'll have a few different things.
Yeah. Because if Target has taught us anything, it's that caricatures of us sell really well. They put us on a greeting card.
They did. And I'm still mad. Like, I'm happy but mad about it.
Yeah, no,
because they didn't give us any credit for it.
No. And you just thought you could do some like skin colored blobs on a blue couch and we wouldn't know this was us? Is this play about us? Yes. Target. That's us. So
I think about that too much.
Well, also like, it was us because people were like messaging us being like, look at this.
It just happens to be a white woman and a black woman sitting on a blue couch, which we had at the time. The black
same
woman
shaped blue couch too.
Yep. Had a fro, like in the way that I was wearing it at that time.
And our like proportions of height. I mean, we were sitting, but like
everything was right.
It could have been a thumbnail.
They had wine in the picture, which we won't. I see us drinking wine. Like
call professionals.
Yeah,
don't call the cops. Like call somebody.
Yeah, because like I'll go wine tasting, but I'm not just sitting down to just drink wine.
I've never in my life sat down to drink wine. I hate wine.
I don't hate it. I just like I don't see what the point is because I'm just gonna go to sleep. It just knocks me out.
In college, I remember like they would have like
wine and cheese.
No, Catalina wine mixers and like all that shit. And I would just
we were more classy with the wine and cheese party.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I went to school in Riverside, California. It was not classy at all. We had like Franzia boxed wine.
No.
And I just remember I was like, wine is like a sad drunk. Like, and I just remember like everybody just kind of like being sad and then me feeling sad. And I was like, this is not fun. And I just, ugh. I mean, all alcohol is ugh to me, but wine. No. Yeah, if you see us drinking wine, not good. Not good.
I mean, we really had an Olivia Pope type of day.
We killed somebody and we needed to unwind.
Get that out of our
mind. We buried a body. Like who could we be from? If you get to be Olivia Pope.
Then you can be the redheaded one. Or Melly.
I'll be Melly.
Okay.
Who could I be if we did How to Get Away with Murder? If we had a large group of friends doing that scene where they're trying to bury a body, like reenacting that in costumes would be so...
You'd have to be Bonnie. That's the only white woman.
Hey, and if there's going to be one, I fucking loved Bonnie in that. I loved her in that. I want to watch that show again.
So we'll be Bonnie and Annalise.
Trauma bonded, the Halloween costume. That's actually really funny. I wonder if they're like friends with each other. I don't know. I wonder. Anyways, happy Halloween to everybody who celebrates it and anyone who doesn't.
I mean, we really don't, but
I know.
now we kind of do. 'Cause
Yeah.
we live in houses and we want to hang out.
And I realized
Yeah.
that like Halloween, I got to put on a costume and like, I'm sorry, there's nothing I love. First of all, I love attention. I'm so like over the top and like dramatic. And then like, I'm a theater kid. Like I live for I told you I want to go to a Renaissance fair. Like I love.
I like dressing up in costumes, but I don't like dressing up on Halloween.
No.
Because there's just too many spooks and goose going on, and I don't trust everybody.
I don't like Halloween parties. I don't like being around other people in their. I think Halloween should be a day where we have costumes, we take beautiful photos, and then we take those costumes off.
And that's exactly what you do.
That's exactly what I do now. And I'm like, this is great. And then eventually we will take our future child to go trick-or-treating.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be like, this is great. This is great.
So it's graveyards.
Oh, yes. Moth came into the house the other day.
That's our safe word.
Graveyards. Moth came into the house the other day and he goes, I have to tell you something and I think you're going to be really mad. And I was like, you can't fucking enter the home like this. And he goes, and I didn't say anything and I don't think you should say anything. And like, I really don't want you to say anything. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck happened? And he goes, so the neighbors are setting up their Halloween decorations. And it's just like neighbors like a little bit farther down the street. And they have a graveyard. And I go, what's it say on the gravestones? And he goes, it's only one that I've seen. And I go, Biden? And he goes, no, Fauci. And I was like, what?
Why?
There's just like not even any like humor to it. And like, it is the weird neighbor's house. Like they have like a very old woman who lives with them who I assume is a parent. And they just let her out there with like very large electronic outdoor, like she was like chopping down like big tree branches. And she's like a frail old lady. And then there's like these people in their 30s or 40s sitting on the porch.
That's probably what she enjoys to do.
No, but I just think that like they are just they're sitting and like watching her do all of this intense manual labor. And they like never even like pretend to do any, I don't know. They're always just kind of like weird and like kind of scowling, looking around. And their kids always have like, you know, in horror movies when you like drive by a house and then like the camera like slows and stops on like these like little kids' faces and they just like turn and look, like they have that face. And I'm like, I don't trust you. Like this is like, you're sketchy. Versus like the other kids on our street. There's like the one is so nice. I met the other day. Mott's had already met her and her mom and her dad. Like they love him, the whole fam. And
who doesn't?
Truly. Like literally, he's like, I should have not been so nice to all of our neighbors. Like he will leave the house and then come back 20 minutes later. He goes, got caught up talking about landscaping. But they're so nice. And I was talking to the mom and her daughter, and we're in the middle of the conversation. The daughter's in like middle school, or no, that's a lie. I think she's probably in like 4th grade. And she just like slides down into the splits. And I was like, I love that age of like, I want attention from these adults. I'm gonna do the splits. And I was like, get it. Great job. And she was like, oh, like, it's nothing. And I was like, that's so cute. But it's weird because I still feel like I relate more to her than her mom. I'm like, I feel like we're closer in age, but we're not.
Yeah. I always say I feel like a big kid.
Me too.
I enjoy things that children enjoy.
Yeah.
Light brights, cartoons, candy. I'm a big kid.
We both love corn dogs.
I do not like corn dogs.
Hot dogs. I love corn
hate
dogs.
There's a reason why, but I once threw up when I was eating one, and now I can never eat one again.
3 Musketeers bars. I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. Ugh. Some things always get ruined. Not good.
I loved them before, and now I just cannot. I cannot be in the same room with one. The smell just takes me back.
Yeah, I'm that drinkable yogurts.
Those are kind of gross anyway.
They always were gross, and that's kind of why it's when I had the Sanbone stuck in my throat, so I needed to throw up, and so it was like, might as well have these things that I find absolutely disgusting. I used to have like the organic version of Go-Gurts, and the only way I could eat them is if I froze them, and then it would be like
frozen yogurt.
Froyo. TCBY yogurt, the country's best yogurt. I love when some of the sides say TCBY yogurt.
Yeah.
As an insider. It's redundant, but I love it. So yeah, that was the graveyard at our neighbors. We're obviously not going to say anything. I just like, you know what? Sometimes like it feels like when you're like playing a game of Monopoly against like a 3-year-old and you're like, this isn't even fun because you're stupid and like you're just like a
They're
baby.
not
Like
stupid,
no, but
they're
like
just ignorant because they don't know you.
they don't know how to play the game.
Yeah.
Like this is just like, and you're like, why am I even gonna bother? It's like when you have like a really great
But you have
outfit
to
and you're
teach
like,
them sometime.
okay, so okay, bad analogy. It's like when you have a really cute outfit and you're like, am I gonna wear this to, like Thanksgiving around these old people who like, no, they were not gonna appreciate this. They're not gonna get this.
Yeah,
Like
I
we're
get
just like
that.
not on the same level. That's how sometimes I feel with people with like idiotic views like that. I'm like, ugh, we can't even have like a banter or a like this is just
Mm-hmm.
it's like I don't even have anything to say to you. Like there's gonna be no witty discourse between us because it's just like I don't want to help you make this sign better and more offensive and like actually be a dig.
More,
But I
offensive
kind
or
of-
less offensive.
No, I'm saying like I kind of pity the fact that you thought that you did something here. I'm like, do you want me to show you how to really do so? Like I don't want to do that, but I'm just like, oh, I'm embarrassed for you. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
Anyways,
The bell has rang.
time for new class.
Yeah. Because you're Britney Spears.
Oh my gosh,
in the
I'm
video,
the student.
Yeah.
You're the teacher.
Yes. Like
That
it
is
all works
funny.
together.
I definitely had
Oh,
to.
that's what we should look up something in for the
That's
TikTok.
we're gonna find porn.
No. But the TikTok can be like teaching, like I could be teaching a class and then we flip to you and it's Britney Spears, like we got to have a pin that you're kind of twirling.
We should explain what this podcast is. This is Don't Blame Me, where we give you wonderful, amazing, life-changing advice from a teacher and a pop star. And you might be wondering how we're qualified. I just told you. There's a teacher and a pop star here. So
What more could you
Yeah.
need?
you're getting premium. You're getting literally schooled for free from two people whose day rates are not free.
Astronomical.
Astronomical. One, I don't even think you could find their contact information. Me. I don't even know who you reach out to. So you call in, you leave voicemails, and we play your voicemails on the air, and we give you wonderful, amazing, again, life-changing advice. So if you want to call in, you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. And international listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. We ask that you keep it. We don't ask. We demand that you keep it under 3 minutes. You have your parents' permission or you're over 18 and you write everything down. Practice a few times. Make sure you have all the relevant information. Like make sure you have your ages in there. If it's about a relationship, how long you've been together, all the relevant nitty gritty info that we need to give you the best advice possible. It is all anonymous, but practice it a couple times, cut things, add things. And then finally, when you're ready to record, literally just read it. Read it. You don't have to memorize it. Read it. You don't have to go off
Don't
script.
memorize it.
No. Memorizing things is completely overrated.
Mhm.
There's like a whole section of my brain that if I could release the lyrics of Ashley Simpson's autobiography, the entire album,
That's the first one.
Ashley Simpson, yeah, she only has 2.
Okay. That was a
Sadly,
great album.
it's no,
I might-
Melissa.
I
it's,
might listen to it.
Melissa, when I
When
tell
we
you,
take our break, we're gonna listen to
I
it.
put it on one day when Kyle and I were driving in the car, and both of us were screaming, and I was almost peeing my pants, and we were both crying. We were like, I forgot how amazing this album was, and neither of us had listened to it in years, but both of us still knew every fucking word.
Let me go ahead and add it to my
It's
album.
so
I
the
mean,
fact
to
that
my-
it didn't win a Grammy, like, and like we did So Dirty by Ashley Simpson with like making fun of her for like lip syncing, SNL, all of that shit. I'm like, we fucked up. We could have had more of this, and it's just it hits me right in the feels. So if I could release any of that, I know all of those fucking words. More of the story. Don't memorize your call.
Mhm.
Just read it out loud, and yeah, you can call in literally about anything. Sex, rock and roll. I was gonna say drugs, but I mean, what do you call? Yeah, it's interesting.
Mhm.
Hey, Meghan and Melisa, I was just wondering if I should drop acid. Thanks. Bye.
And the answer is depends.
I
I need more information.
need more information. Are you writing the next case? Are you Casey Musgraves? Are you writing your new album? Then I would say, if you're safe and comfortable, yeah, go for it.
Mhm.
Drop some acid. We got a great album last time. Is acid the same thing as LSD?
No clue. I don't
Me neither.
We're not drug people.
No.
We're
I always
the wrong people to ask.
Yeah,
that question to
honestly.
anyway.
No. I always, when people talk about like tabs of them, my whole life, I have no idea what they look like. I don't want to Google. I don't care. I just think that like they're Listerine tabs.
Yeah.
And like I would think, I'm like, oh my God, what if I have a
remember-
Listerine tab and it's like someone swaps it and it's actually acid?
I remember when the Listerine tabs came out, like my school was like a little scared about that.
Okay, so maybe it is similar to what acid looks like.
I have no clue. Maybe. I've heard like stamps.
I almost did shrooms once.
I've
But-
almost done them a few times, but I've never actually done it.
I almost did them when I was on a road trip. And do with that information what you will, if you
This is
know.
the chicken road trip.
No. Oh my God, no. I already peed my pants and threw up
I know.
on myself while driving. There was no drugs involved. That was all
Ayahuasca.
me. That is actually my like fucking nightmare. But I was going to do them. We were going to do them. And we literally lost them in the car somewhere. We like had no idea where they were.
What
we
if
were
you
like-
did them and you just don't remember?
No, we would have remembered. Actually, I don't remember anything. I legitimately remember nothing. I made myself a cup of tea today. And then I walked out of like the bedroom, like as I was like finally getting ready to leave, I go, "What's this?" And I go, "Oh, that's tea that I made that I never drank." So, anyways, okay, so we get into the
Yeah,
calls.
let's do that.
Hi, Meghan and Melisa. I'm just going to get right into it because it's kind of long and a lot. I'm an 8-year-old female, she, her pronouns. I'm a freshman in college. I'm living in a hall-style dorm, and I'm really close with most of my hall. I immediately became best friends with the two girls right next door to me. We'll call them Chloe and Allison, who are roommates with each other. Both she, her pronouns. We did everything together the first 2 weeks of college, and I spent all my time in their room as I don't love my roommate. Just a few weeks ago, I was talking about a boy in our hall who I thought liked me, and Allison immediately responded with, "Oh, don't worry, he could never like you. He likes me," which I found a little rude. But then she immediately told us about a conversation they had where he told her that he was in love with her. We are really close with the guy, though, and me and Chloe finding it a little bit suspicious. We talked to him, and he said that conversation never happened, and he showed us proof that he wasn't even in the dorms that night to have that conversation. He confronted her about lying, and she shut down immediately and started crying. As soon as he left the room, she begged me to believe her and insisted that I was sitting on her side, not his. After his realization about this lie, me and Chloe compared our stories about a bunch of different things that she told us, and it turned out she's been lying about everything. Here are some of the many, many, many examples. She says that she lost her sense of smell, and she told Chloe it was from COVID, and she told me it was from a brain defect from birth. She also told me and my parents that she had power of attorney over her grandparents at age 17, despite having living parents. She also told us that she had a heart attack. I don't really have any proof that either of these aren't true, but just in the context of everything else, it seems crazy, and both of my parents never believed it. She said her dad is the number one archer in the country, and her grandpa's number 2, yes, is in archery. We Googled it, and it just isn't true. She also lies about day-to-day things, when she ordered a package, what she ate, where she was, like so many other things. She said a man grabbed her by the arm and told her that he didn't know college girls were this pretty in the middle of the day in the center of our campus, which just didn't happen. And she also made it clear that it was a black man who did that, which made me really uncomfortable. She said that a man was taking pictures of her at the gym when we were there, and he was just taking mirror selfies. There's no way to fit all her lies in 3 minutes, but it's constant and they're absurd. Some of what she lies about is for shock. Some of it seems so pointless, like it'd be easier to just tell the truth. Some of it revolves around everyone being obsessed with her. Basically, our best friend's a pathological liar, and we have no idea what to do. We feel like we just can't do nothing, because how can we be friends with her? We don't really know who she is, because all she does is lie. If we confront her, she's going to shut down. What do we do?
You had a minute left, so we could have heard a lot more lies.
I would have loved to hear more. That is
Wild.
I just want to say, I do think she's learning, because power of attorney over your grandparents at 17, that no one,
Who's the number 2 archer in the world?
I'm going to say that we're getting better at lying, because sure, I could Google, but like, you didn't say soccer. You didn't say basketball. Like, she tried to pick, like, she should have picked.
But she has power of attorney over
Her grandfather, the number 1 archer, the number 2
Her
archer
dad's
in the
number
world.
1.
From my perspective as a total outsider right now, if I was in this friendship, I would probably be like, fuck that. There's something kind of like chaotic and fun about this as an outsider that I would just be like, can you and Chloe, that's the other one. Can you and Chloe, like, are you a trio right now? Like, are you a package deal friendship? Because you need to sever ties, because her pathological lying, like, will influence how other people view you. But if you're able to like sever ties, and you can keep her as like a distance friend to like just hear some of that shit, I would personally, but that's me now. And it's because it's not my life, because it's your life.
Yeah, I had a friend like that would lie all the time, and then it got tiring and
it's exhausting.
Yeah. And I was like, I just have to stop this now. I had to distance myself. So the school year, well, you're coming up at the end of this semester. So I would say just write it out. Because I mean, they're always going to be there for the next few months. Maybe, you know, think of your breaks, your holiday breaks as time apart, and you can have a breather from her. But then just write it out to the end of the year, and then don't talk to her again. I don't think you should confront her because she's going to break down because you already have. And what'd you do? Cry about it?
See, I'm a bitch. I would probably just keep, like, as much as I said, like, keep it, it's entertainment. I wouldn't do it if I was in the situation. It's only entertaining for you calling us.
Yeah, I wouldn't, like, entertain her as far as, like, listen to what she has to, like, take what she says as, like, the truth. Like, she's there. She's kind of like a gnat, and she's around. But, like, I'm not going to sit here and make somebody's college experience, like, a living hell. I'm just going to let them exist and not take anything they say as at face value.
Yeah. I just think that, like, at least for me, like, I know my face, and I'm going to, if I, like, don't push back in the situation, I'm just going to be mean. Like, I'm just going to, like, resent and really fucking hate you. And then I'm just going to, like, not listen to, like, when you talk, and I'm going to be, like, a really, 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 like, I'm just going to be a bitch. And so, like, for me, what I would do is, like, when she says, oh, it's because, like, I had this, I would probably at this point, I would just be like, because I don't think you said that you did this, but I would just be like, hey, I, like, have noticed that, like, some of the things that you're saying, like, haven't totally been adding up. And I just think that, like, that's like, it just feels, like, kind of weird. And, like, you know, you don't have to, like, lie about anything. Like, I think you're really cool. Like, you seem like a really great person. Like, you don't have to, like, make.
Then are you lying?
Yeah, it's fine, but you can lie. But, like, you don't have to, like, lie to make yourself, like, seem, like, more, like, exciting or whatever. It just, like, it's just, it feels, like, weird. Like, it feels like, and you, being honest, like, it just feels like I don't really, like, know who you are at this point. And I know you've lied about these things, and, like, sure, you can, like, deny it, but, like, I would just really rather you be, like, upfront and, like, let me know, like, why. Like, is there something, like, are you nervous about being at a new school? Are you trying to, like, be exciting and, like, to get people to, like you or whatever? Because pathological liars, like, you guys are spending a lot of time with her. My thing is, like, I think, like, not even, like, setting boundaries, but, like, that she's not fooling you without being like, that didn't happen, that's not true. But, like, having, like, a heart-to-heart, like, attempt there, I just think, like, inevitably when you stop being friends, she's probably gonna come with some extravagant lie about why you and Chloe stopped being friends with her. And I just think that, like, it's always better to, in situations, just to be like, I said one thing. I don't have to say it multiple times. I don't have to, like, try and change anyone's mind. I don't have to, like, try and fix anyone or heal anyone. But, like, I can wipe my hands clean of this because I said something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for me, that ties it up in a nice little bow. And it's like, if that pisses you off, and if we stop being friends, and then if you lie on my name, like, later on, all of that, like, I don't care. Like, I don't feel like there's anything more I could have done. Like, it doesn't feel like I try to approach it in the moment. And, like, she knows and I know that I've had this conversation with her. And if she wants to, like, then start lying about me, like, okay, cool. Okay. But, like, I already tried.
Yeah. It's also, like, the small lies that she does. Dad and grandfather being 1 and 2 archery champions. Okay. But then it's, like, the terrible lies that she has about a black man grabbing her on campus.
That's just racist.
That's racist and harmful. And
yeah, black
men have died for that.
And I think that's something that, like, in the moment, you're like, you can't say, like, that didn't happen. Like, yeah. And also, that's really racist. And, like, do you know what happens when you say things like that? Like, do you know the, like, literal physical harm you put people in? That, like, you can't lie about that.
Yeah.
I think that's, again, like, I think that's something that, like, call that out in the moment. And if you can't call it out in the moment, then you need to cut her off and not be friends with her. Like, because you become complicit with, like, that shit. Like, when it's something like that, like, there are consequences of other people's safety, you become complicit if you don't call it out, and or if you just maintain in that friendship. Like, that's not okay. And again, like, people will think of you, your freshman year is, like, a really great time to, like, make a first impression on people. You're not married to your friend groups, of, like, your social circles or anything like that. But when you really latch onto people, that kind of becomes your entire identity. And then by nature, you don't socialize with other, like, it just, like, it becomes a bubble, and then a lot of people can hold expectations or ideas of you based on the people you surround yourself with. And you've got like more years to go in this place. Like, I just don't think that you should have to stick it out and just hope that distance will grow between you. Like, I think you need to say something now about like the pathological lying, and then decide like, okay, are we going to then tell her like we're done with this friendship and like obviously Chloe's her roommate, or are we going to like be like correcting her as she's doing these things?
Yeah.
And also maybe then you push her away and you don't have to do anything yourself.
Yeah. It probably might be different, like, because I was at a bigger school, but freshman year, it was like when I was in the dorm, everybody was like really nice. Like the first semester, everybody was like really nice and everybody wanted to be everybody's friend and blah, blah, blah. Then when everybody came back from winter break, it was like, we're good. Like, we know who we actually like here.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a commuter dorm. So it was literally me and my RA and him, me hiding alcohol in my room, and then me helping the girls he was hooking up with sneak into his room, and me having a chart of which girls were which day so I wouldn't call them by the wrong name.
Got it.
Okay. Well, that's it. On to the next.
What up? Don't blah memes. Sam, longtime listener, first time caller here. I am a non-binary 29-year-old Pisces. I have been kind of a serial monogamist up until the past year or so. Recently got out of a very long-term, very monogamous relationship, and I'm just kind of newly exploring like dating, casually hooking up, non-monogamy, whatever. It's all very new to me. I just started going out with a friend of mine. Actually, we're like about to go on our third date. I'm in my car about to go into the bar. But so we've been really good friends, this person and I, for the past like couple of years. We're both theater people, so we're like in the same community. We have a lot of mutual friends. And we're very new, though, to this like not entirely platonic thing that we're doing, which is like going on dates and making out and stuff. And it may progress further than that, but it may not, you know, who knows? Like I said, it's still very new. And we're both like seeing other people as well. So again, not monogamous, not serious. Anyway, my question, or like the thing that I could use some guidance on, is regarding like not the transition from like being platonic friends to not being platonic entirely anymore, but kind of the like balance between the two. Because like I love this guy. Like, I'm not saying I'm in love with him, because I probably am not, but like I love him as a friend, as I have for the last couple of years. Like, we've been through some significant experiences together. We've shared a lot of things with each other just as platonic friends. And so it's weird for me because like normally when I like leave an event, or if I leave a party or something, I'm very affectionate. I want to like hug all my friends, and I kiss my friends on the cheek, and I say like, bye, text me when you get home, love you. And like I would normally do that with this guy. I was doing that with this guy up until like the last couple of weeks when we started going on dates. And now I kind of have to catch myself being like, cool, look, bye, you know, like I want to do that, like that friend love thing, but obviously, or it feels like I can't, because now we're like going on dates. I can't end a casual date with I love you, right? That's crazy. So I don't know. I'm struggling with that just a little bit. It's not like a life altering thing, but if you have any advice or guidance, I would appreciate it. Thank you.
I understand the like, oh, I can't say I love you. Like Mott's and I had that. Like we used to be like, oh my God, love you. And then we started dating and I was like, well, I can't say that anymore. I mean, for your life, caller, I'm just going to be super honest with you. If you don't want to date this person, like date, I think casual dating, when it's not just sex and it's not just like booty call, friends with benefits, you're getting in really murky waters.
Yeah, I don't think you should casually date your friend.
No.
If you're going to be with a friend, it's because you're either just hooking up and then you know that like we're just friends that bone, or you're friends that like we've had feelings for each other, they're developing feelings for each other, and you're seeing where this relationship could go because you think this is like the person that you love.
Yeah, like you're either friends who fuck or you're friends who are falling in love. And like you're existing in the in-between and like that gray area. And it's just a bad fucking idea. And like you're like trying to feel like how you can create like balance and boundaries. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably why it feels really like weird and kind of hard and complicated and like there's no obvious answer. It's because there's not one. It's just messy. It's just like, and you can really have love for someone as a friend. And you could also like be attracted to this person and like, you know, think like maybe what if, but if you're not at the place and the time that you're like, I do want to date. I want to date. If you want to get back into like, I mean, even if you want to get into like ethical non-monogamy, like if you want this person to be like a primary partner, but like it's just your lives are intertwined and you really care about this person as a friend until you want something that is more than just casually dating. I would get the casual dating out of your system if that's what you want to do. And then approach this and like let's give it a real shot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just because you never know people when it's the person that it works out with, it only has to work out once. But like the reason why that works out is because you have two people who have the same feelings at the same time that progress at the same rate. And that, again, doesn't happen that often. Like that's why you end up with the person you end up with. But with a friend, that's just a little bit harder because you feel like you owe them something. And if their feelings are progressing faster than yours or your feelings are progressing faster, you also know them well enough to like read into like their body language and the things that they're saying. And you might not feel comfortable expressing yourself because you're like, well, I don't want to make it weird. And then we have this other friend group thing. Like there's too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too much. I would advise to not. I know you're on your way to your third date and you already have had it now.
Maybe the date was amazing and you're like, maybe there's something more here. I don't know. Give us an update.
Yeah, but you have to like be so on the same page and like both of you, like there's one thing when someone you really like starts sleeping with other people or like, you know, you're not the only person they're dating. And it's another thing when it's someone you really like that it's a friend. Because when you have feelings for a friend and you're acting on them, that's with knowing, recognizing, and accepting the risk up to that friendship. And you're like, you know what? Like, I'm willing to like risk that because I care so much about, like, I just really want to give this a shot. And then if someone's like still dating other people and they're not treating it in that same way, you're kind of like, oh, you didn't think about this in the same way that I did. And that hurts on a friendship level and a romantic level. So get on the apps.
Yeah.
So sorry. I hope it was fun while it lasted. But your teacher and Britney Spears have said, no more.
Time to move on. Or this is the greatest love of your life.
But you have to pick.
Mm-hmm. All right. Time for a break.
Yay! Class is back in session. Thank you, Miss Jane. Miss Teagues.
Yeah, get it right. They do call each other by first names on the show. That bothers me.
What? The teachers?
Yeah, but they do it in front of the students.
I don't know that my teachers ever did that.
You went to a different...
I called my teachers by their first name. Not even like
type of school.
Mr. Tim.
Yeah.
Just Tim. And then you would get mixed up and then sometimes I would call him Dad. And he was like, it's okay.
Papa. Papa.
No.
You ever
like,
call him Big Papa?
That's like Sexy Buddy the Elf.
Never seen it.
How do you have so many nieces and nephews and you've never seen Elf?
I mean, they weren't born when it came out.
Yeah, but that's like I feel like that's an notation of like a classic Christmas movie that like parents will like watch
none
their
of
kids.
us saw it, so who's gonna pass it down?
Are you sure they haven't seen it?
I'm positive.
What's your Christmas movie?
We have this conversation every single year.
Cool. Oh, I don't remember.
Mean Girls.
Okay.
And Dream Girls.
I can't argue with either of those.
I mean, Dreams Girls, no Christmas. Do they? They had to.
I don't know, but it's a sparkling movie.
Yeah, it's sparkling. And it came out around Christmas, so then that's just our tradition. Mean Girls, Dream Girls.
Happy holidays. I respect it. Okay. Should we get back into the rest of the calls?
Yes, we shall.
Hi, Meghan and Melisa. I hope you guys are well and I hope you feel pretty today. I am 25. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm calling for some advice on moving in with my boyfriend. He's 24. We've been in a long distance relationship for just over 2 years. And if he had it his way, we would be living together yesterday. He lives 2 hours away. We see each other every other week for 2 to 3 days at a time. And we have spent up to like 12 to 14 days uninterrupted together on like different occasions and multiple times. And I'm really confident in our ability to be roommates. Neither of us have ever lived with partners, only friends or roommates. I currently live at home with my parents. I moved home for a period of grieving and also to save up money. The only thing keeping me here right now is continuing to save money. I have a job here and my entire immediate family is here. Ideally, I would live with a friend in the city before living with my boyfriend, but I don't know anyone that's looking for roommates in the area right now or anytime soon, and I don't think I could live on my own. My main fear is basically putting too much pressure on the relationship, but my boyfriend and I are starting to have more and more conversations about this. The other element that's making me really doubt my judgment for this current decision is my relationship with my dad. We haven't been close for a long time. We just sort of inexplicably drifted apart. But almost 2 months ago, he confronted me in a very aggressive and out of character way, just kind of pushing his expectations for my life on me. And since then, our relationship has been at a standstill until he apologizes. That is a boundary that I set out for myself, which I'm proud of. But now living at home is making me miserable. My mom is a really good support, and so are all of my brothers, and they agree that my dad is in the wrong, but he won't apologize until he wants to, and he is just being simply too prideful to admit that he was wrong and apologize to me. And that is really tearing down on me. My boyfriend and I had already been talking about moving in together before this happened, but this has really been weighing on me. Ideally, I just want to move in with him when we're like completely 100% ready. And while I feel like we are, I am an anxious overthinker and I'm scared of making a really big mistake. And I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I would be starting over in terms of like jobs and stuff if I moved to the city. Thank you.
This is a lot more complicated than other calls that we've had before in this similar nature.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, am I ready to move in with my boyfriend? This has a different factor weighing in on it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel for you because this would also probably keep me up at night in the same thing. I mean, the first question I would ask yourself, which I'm sure you already have, is if your dad apologized tomorrow. Let's say that like you started putting out feelers and you're like are working towards that. Your dad apologizes tomorrow. Are you regretful that you're going to move in? Or you move in with your boyfriend, the next day your dad apologizes. Do you feel like, in that example, would you feel like you made a mistake?
That's good.
That's like, and that's hard because like you don't know, but like I think that there's a likelihood that, and this probably is not helpful, but I think like you could be right or you could just be like anxious and you could be wrong. And I don't think that there is like a clear cut answer that anyone can give you, even like yourself, you know?
Yeah. I wonder if there's a third option though. Like, I know that you said you don't know anybody that's looking for a roommate. Maybe there's friends of friends that are looking for a roommate, or I don't know like what area you're in, if there's a way to look up other people that want to move in. Yeah, I know Facebook, everything can be sketchy. You just want to vet. I mean, I met my roommate that I had for years on Craigslist. That was when that was the best option. I don't know what the best option is now.
Yeah, I agree. I think there is a third option there. I think like if it feels like for you, I'm either going to move in with him and there's no friends. So it's like, well, if I'm going to move in with him. I'm not going to move in with a roommate. Then that to me is like, I think like you could sign, or even like maybe like you said you couldn't afford to live alone. Like, what about subletting a place for a couple months and like seeing, like, I'm not sure how far, you said 2 hours away. So I don't know if you can work remotely for like 3 months or something and at your current job while still like, you know, maybe looking for another job, but like sublet an apartment in the same city and then see that way of like, do I like living here? And do I like living here without my boyfriend here? Like, do I like it in the sense of like, is this city for me and my life and not like us as a unit?
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. I think like you could find a roommate another way, and that would be like a helpful way to do it. But also at the same time, I don't think it's necessarily too early or too soon to move in with your partner. The thing that we've always said, though, is when you move to a new city with a partner, you're really limiting, and you live with them. You're just kind of limiting your social interactions and social circles based on like, you don't have like, oh, my roommate has a friend that they're going to bring over. And like, it's just a little bit more like playing house and kind of coupley, which there's nothing wrong with. And it just depends on like what experience you want to have.
Mm-hmm.
But you might make a mistake, you know?
You're probably going to make a mistake. You can't predict the future. You can't, as much as you plan and have like in your head what you think is right, a mistake it's going to happen regardless.
And even if it's not immediate, and you might at some point feel regret, and then the next day you wake up and you don't have any regret about it. Like, it's just the process of life. And the good thing is that you can fix it. Like, if you regret this, you can move back. If you move in with him and you're like, this was a bad call, you can move back home.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the stakes aren't really that high. It might be a hassle. It might be like costly for moving stuff. It might just like, be a little bit of a headache, but you have to take action at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as an anxious person, that's like advice that I always need to hear, that it's like, you can think about things and you can plan for things and you can account for things and do all of that. But at some point you're going to have to make a decision, and no amount of research and no amount of thought you put into it is going to protect you from you making a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you make a mistake, what's the worst thing worst thing that happens there? You fix it.
Right.
And you do what you can to fix it. But if you like live in this like limbo of what is this? What is this? What is this? Like, you right now don't know if you feel this way because of your dad and all of that. And the only way you're going to know is if you make a decision and you change something and you do something. And I like to process things myself. I like to be in my own space and like think things through and all of that. And sometimes you just can't get there without action. And sometimes you need action to tell you how you feel. And I think that's, as long as you are being honest with yourself through the process and like the people in your life, I think like you just like gotta live your life.
Right.
So my mind says move in general. I say go for it.
Moving is that's what I think is the solution, because your parents are always going to, as long as you're under their roof, as they like to say, they're always going to treat you like you're living at their house. And so you got to get out for some respect.
Yeah. And the strain on your like relationship with your dad right now could probably use some space. And even if like you've kind of accepted it and you've set a boundary, which is like a really healthy thing to do, sometimes like that still does kind of like just like eat away at like your daily like life and your mindset and your mental health and stuff. Like, it's just like something that's just there. You can't like push it to the side or like do something else. Like, it's just there because he's there. So if you can't do roommates and you can't find something that feels good there, move in with your boyfriend. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it doesn't work, it wasn't going to work. You know what I mean? Like, putting pressure on a relationship. You've been together for 2 years. You're in your early like 20s. Like, if you have the same goals and the same timeline for future plans, like if you've talked about that, like, where do we see our relationship in 3 years? Where do we see our relationship in 5 years? What do we want? Like, do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? If you're aligned with all of that, there is no pressure because you're on the same timeline. There's only pressure if one of you is trying to pressure someone else into doing something that you don't want to do. So moving in together won't create pressure that's not already there.
All right.
Best of luck. Let us know what you decide to do.
Hi, Meghan and Melisa. I got cut off in my last thing because I added way too many details, so I cut some stuff out for brevity. Anyway, I wanted to air out a situation that I, 30 she, her, have been in with my friend, 32 he, him, for about 2 years. We've been friends for about 9 years, and I've been there for him emotionally more than I should have because I met him when I was really bad at maintaining boundaries. So long story short, We started sleeping together in August 2020 after we had been isolating together because we had both gone through massive heartbreak. And obviously I'm not complaining about that. Like, we started consistently hanging out and watching movies together and, you know, making this, you know, consistent thing. Not only were we intimate, but we were also like emotionally depending on each other. So this has proven problematic for my dating life, but that I didn't really let that bother me too much since I knew I might be moving if the right opportunity presented itself. However, it just really felt like we were like secretly dating, but like we weren't. Fast forward to now, I have moved. I moved from the only home I've ever known to a very new city to teach music at an elementary school, which is my dream job. Yay. And I felt like it went without saying that the intimate part of our friendship would be over once I moved. However, it seems like he still feels entitled to access to me. He messaged me asking for quote unquote pictures while I'm up here. And that is something I never agreed to in the first place because I'm a teacher and that is a huge risk. I will be visiting my hometown frequently, so I think he has this idea that I'm going to be in a long distance, like friends with benefits situation with him. But there's no end in sight to my time up here, so I don't know. Fuck. Anyway, but that's not going to work. And I've been actively going on dates as well. I met a really sweet girl that I'm interested in. Yay. So I guess that I'm looking for advice on how I can end things while maintaining the friendship. Or, honestly, you can just give me your permission to totally risk the friendly part of our friendship or relationship or whatever and totally cut it off. Either way, I really want that era in my life to be over one way or another. And I'm a chicken shit and I need somebody to hold my hand through it apparently, even though I'm fucking 30 years old. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.
I think this is pretty simple. You don't like him. You don't want to keep talking to him. You don't want to send him pictures. As a teacher, I understand your predicament. I just say cut him off.
Are those your titties?
Just stop talking to him. You already told him you're not seeing pictures. You thought moving would end everything between you. You said you just want it to end. End it.
End it.
Easy.
It's so easy. Just fucking end it. I think like you don't like him and you're developing the ick.
Yeah.
Like
you have the ick.
You have the ick. You don't want to send him nudes. Ick. And he like is like, well, like send me some picture you're up there. And you're like, I moved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not up anywhere. Like I live here now. Like this is my home. And like this is a long, full-time, you know, indefinite sort of thing. And him not getting that is giving me secondhand ick. So for all of our sakes, end it. Ghost him. You live in a new city. You never have to speak to him again.
Bye.
And if he misses you, he just close his eyes and think of what you look like naked.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's really okay to ghost people that you like have the ick that you have had sex with.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if you close your eyes, you can see me.
You got that spank bank right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ghost. Goodbye.
All right.
That's the shortest advice we've ever given you, but like, there's really not much more to say.
No. We're taking another break.
Hi. Is class back in session, Miss Teagues?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Time for Don't Blame Them.
Oh, woo, woo, woo. Don't blame them is, I don't know what the fuck that was, but I do know what this is. Don't blame them is when listeners call in with their own advice pertaining to a call we had on a previous episode. So maybe they have personal experience. They've gone through something similar that the caller did. They had a friend who did. They've given advice to someone about this before. It's within their profession, or they have something that we didn't say and they have ideas that they think we're great or they think we're horrible, but we would never play that because it also just never happens because we're not horrible and you're not wasting your time to call us to tell us we're horrible. Actually, it's happened a couple times, but only.
It's usually not even a call. It's usually a message.
Yeah, it's usually a message
or a review.
It's heavily linked to, we can trace back exactly. And
we've said that enough.
Checks out.
Okay. All right.
Hi guys, I'm calling in with a Don't Blame Me in response to season 10, episode 14, Mom Used a Slur. For the caller with the title story, the mixed person whose white mom used a slur in front of her boyfriend. I totally agree with what Meghan and Melissa said, and I just wanted to add on from my perspective. I'm a mixed person with a hashtag white mom. I'm 32, and my mom is white, and my biological father is Native Central American. My mom was an amazing white mom. She raised me by herself and raised me to be an advocate for minorities of all types. She was a woman in a STEM field who actually experienced discrimination herself. But despite that discrimination and being the child of a mixed person of color, she has never used her position to make claims about understanding the experiences of people of color, including me, or to say anything appropriate about Latinas or any other group. Your mom is super out of line, and I'm really glad that you know this is an issue that needs to be addressed. What I would suggest is seeking out the company of other mixed people if you can. I've found that I have awesome conversations and tons in common with other mixed kids, even if they are a mix of completely different things than what I am. But also, I've found a special comfort in other mixed Latinos, especially those that have specific similarities to my situation, such as like dad not being in the picture, not speaking Spanish, et cetera, et cetera. The point is that I have just found so much solace in this. I think you'll find it's a huge relief to have a place to talk about your issues with your mom and exist in your own identity without having to worry about how it's going to be viewed. Everyone has their own experience of being mixed, and no two stories are ever alike, but I think you will find a higher level of understanding from those who have this in common with you. I hope you're able to settle things peacefully with your mom and that she can see the error in the way she's speaking. But even if she can't, I think you'll find so much comfort in finding a community that can validate you in your knowledge of what's right. I also wanted to briefly address that it does sound like your mom has some issues with alcohol. Unfortunately, this is something I can also relate to. If you have it in you or feel like it's an okay choice for you, Al-Anon is an amazing resource for people who are family or loved ones of alcoholics or people who are having issues with alcohol or other addiction, even if maybe you wouldn't identify them as an alcoholic per se. Bottom line is there's a lot of people out there who are going to be able to relate to what you're going through, and I totally encourage you to reach out and try to find them if you can. Best of luck, and thanks to Meghan and Melissa for another awesome edition of an amazing podcast. Love you guys. Bye.
So kind.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for giving your own perspective and insight on that. And I hope that caller, that caller, we talked to them after the episode came out. So they're still here. Maybe they're delayed and they're listening, but great advice too. So that is it, class. It's the end of the day. The bell's going to ring.
Class is dismissed.
As the bell
I don't think
rings.
we have any reviews. Let me check. I think my review's the last one. So we need some new ones.
Give us reviews. Miss Teague would give this a 5-star review.
Yeah.
Might say, there's a lot of cussing. So,
yeah. My review's the last one. If you want to see what my name is, you can see. It's very obvious.
That's funny. That's it. We hope you enjoyed the episode. If you want to look at our amazing, like, gorgeous costumes, and that
really
caller
proud
who
of
said, I
us.
hope you're feeling pretty, like, we
We
are.
do.
Like, you should look at the Patreon, look at the video. It's literally $1. It's $1 for the whole month, and you can watch every previous episode. If you just want to spend $1, it's like, look at how fucking great we look. You crushed it. And I'm really glad that, like, I actually did, because I almost didn't do it.
I know. I figured. I was like, I'm texting her very late, and then I know how much effort it is for you to get ready and things. And
it is why we usually started 11, and I was like, I'm gonna be a little late.
Usually it's kind of a
no. We put it in our calendar for 11, and then we check in with each other where we landed. And I was like, I'm definitely gonna be later than that. And then I told you I was like 12 or a little before 12, and then I was like, I lied. 12:15, and I got here 12:30. So,
and it's fine.
But the outfit looks cute. I'm not going to tell you to go comment on our Instagram something specific because I'm making more work for myself to make a graphic that specifically matches to that. But
if you're listening though and you feel prompted, go tell us your favorite teacher.
Oh yeah,
or what you're going to dress up today as for Halloween.
Yeah, maybe your best Halloween costume, what you're doing today.
Just something related to what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay. We will see you. I mean, you'll hear from us tomorrow for our extra episode. See you next Tuesday. Then you get a break from us on Wednesday. And then we are back for But Am I Wrong on Thursday, and then Fisting Friday.
Fisting.
We have so many problems with that name. On Friday.
I'm used to it now.
Me fucking too, and that's my issue. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me. Executive produced by Melissa DeMonts and Diamond Imprint Productions. Edited by Coco Lawrence. Post-production sound by Chris Henry. Production assistance by Melanie D. Watson. Music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso.
Listening to a podcast should be time well spent, and I promise it will be if you'll give this podcast a try. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in every episode, I talk with leading experts on topics I know you will find fascinating. From why people can't keep secrets, what your favorite music says about you, why your pet acts in strange ways, and so much more. Something You Should Know is designed to give you information you can use in your life and give you great intel that you can share with others. I'm told it's a binge-worthy podcast. And with over 1,000 episodes, there's a lot to binge on. Something You Should Know has been ranked in the top of the Apple Podcast charts consistently for a long time. I know you're going to like this. I just need to get you to try it. Something You Should Know. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hi, this is Rob Benedict.
And I am Richard Spate. We were both on a little show you might know called Supernatural.
It had a pretty good run, 15 seasons, 327 episodes.
And though we have seen, of course, every episode many times, we figured, hey, now that we're wrapped, let's watch it all again.
And we can't do that alone. So we're inviting the cast and crew that made the show along for the ride. We've got writers, producers, composers, directors, and we'll of course have some actors on as well, including some certain guys that played some certain pretty iconic brothers.
It was kind of a little bit of a left field choice in the best way possible.
The note from Kripke was, he's great, we love him, but we're looking for like a really intelligent Duchovny type.
With 15 seasons to explore, it's going to be the road trip of several lifetimes. So please join us and subscribe to Supernatural then and now.
Merry Christmas, everybody. My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the co-hosts of the Christmas. Let me try that again. Merry Christmas, everybody. My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the hosts of Christmas Countdown Show.
We're so thrilled to be bringing the merriment to you all this holiday season.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be massively merry, gigantically jolly, fantastically festive, as some people might say, Eric. We are all about alliterations, and we are all about Christmas spirit. On Christmas Countdown, we love to count down our top 10 favorite things related to the holiday season. That could be food, movies, music, everything that we all love about this massively merry good time. So wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you click that subscribe button. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready, and we hope that you are too. Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's go. It should be like, let's go, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.